Hey,
Hey, welcome to Dating God's
welcome.
Way.
Yes, welcome to Dating God's Way.
Impact, we at it again. That's it. And that's the aim.
Impact, we
We
at it
did it
again.
again. Okay. All right. Let's get sharing this page on tonight.
Can you
Sharing
check your
tonight. Yeah,
mics? Can you check your mic settings to make sure you're using the right mic?
I sure can. I
Thank
sure can.
you. Oh my goodness. Pastor E, you left me. I'm all alone on a live. I'm all alone. You left me.
I'm back because you asked me to do stuff during the video. Hey, y'all. And I'm back. Hey.
Now
Okay.
you on the right mic.
All right. Hey, y'all. Hey.
Was you on the right mic before?
I was, but I was too far away. Hey guys,
Okay.
glad to see you tonight. Go ahead and share this broadcast tonight. No more drama. Okay, I got a little Mary J going on tonight. Somebody say no more drama. Okay.
We at it again.
At
Impact.
it
We
again.
at it
Impact,
again.
we at it again.
I'm gonna try not to be no more drama tonight. I feel a lot of drama
I can
coming up
see
and
that. I kind of see that on you a little
coming.
bit.
A lot of drama in my chest.
Woo. We don't want
Um,
it. We don't want it.
I don't. I don't want it either.
We don't want it.
Tara, Tiana, Nichelle.
Hey y'all,
Hey
thanks for
y'all.
joining
Hey
tonight.
y'all.
Dating
Thank you for
God's Way.
joining.
No more
No
drama.
more drama in
I'm
this camp.
excited to get into in this dancery, okay? I'm excited to get into it tonight, you guys. Like really get into this conversation because we just sick of the drama. I am.
I don't know what a week it has been.
I
What a week it
mean,
has
hey
been.
Law, hey.
Hey, brother Law, what's going on, bro? Yeah, it's just. I, it's just it's just been a lot.
It's been a
It's
lot,
just been a lot.
y'all.
And
Woo.
I got a lot. I got a lot to say about all the drama. And because this is Dating God's Way Plus, I
Yeah,
think this is a plus edition here.
yeah,
I think this is a plus edition here. Like
yeah.
you gotta you well, you ain't gotta do nothing. But as I've gotten older, allergies have set in. I don't think I can't remember me having allergies in my teenage years or my 20s.
I did.
But you know, I can remember like going in my 30s and now in the 40s. It's like, man, my nasal passages just swollen for no reason at
No
all.
reason at all.
My eyes burning now, just all this crazy stuff. And so just like I'm allergic to the seasons, I'm allergic to drama, man. I
Go
mean,
ahead.
too much drama just oh man, it just sickens me. It
Go
sickens me.
ahead. Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead, Pastor. Just
Yeah.
sick it. You sick it.
I don't like the stench of it. Like I like peace. I like fun and games. I like to chill.
He
But
does. He really does. He likes to chill. Yes. Allergic to drama. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I can do the fake drama. Like I could do drama when it's not drama. It's just fake drama. It's like, man, you get over that in an hour.
Go ahead.
That's like
But prolonged. But
the
prolonged.
prolonged stuff. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. So let's get
yeah,
into our introduction on tonight. And so we're talking about no more drama. And we see, everybody talking about, Will Smith and what happened at the
again,
Oscars. It's just
again.
everything, y'all. It's just so like, okay. And I know most people are sick of hearing about Will and Jada child. Because I'm telling y'all I am. All their stories, entanglements, slapping people. It's just so much drama. Okay. It is so much drama. And a lot of people, I'm gonna really put my counseling hat on for a minute. A lot of people are addicted to pain, Pastor Will. They are addicted to pain and drama.
It's their love language.
It's their love language. I mean, y'all, seriously, a lot of people are addicted to pain, addicted to rejection, addicted to, toxicity. I mean, addicted to it. A lot of people do not feel like things are going well if there's nothing drama based happening, if there's no like we fighting, it's this going that you ain't going if there's none of that, a lot of people don't feel like the relationship is being successful, or you don't really love me because we ain't had a fight in 3 days. Look, y'all,
if it ain't chaos,
they can't live in it.
They can't live in it. It's hard.
So thank God's way tonight is about no more drama, because a lot of times both men and women are bringing drama into relationships, and what you're doing is you're self-sabotaging. You are self-sabotaging what could be healthy, what could be something that God ordained in your life, relationship. You could be self-sabotaging it, like straight up. You could be.
Yeah.
You could be. Yeah.
So true.
So true. So let's go through some comment. And you know what? I'm going to pause one more minute, because make sure you just share this. Share this with a friend, a neighbor, a church member. Go ahead and share this broadcast tonight, because we're really about to get into some serious material tonight. I'm not even joking with y'all. I mean, you know, we talk about addiction. You think about drugs. You think about alcohol. You don't really think about being addicted to pain, or addicted to relationships, or addicted to different trauma responses. You know, people are addicted to these things, these behaviors at times. And so go ahead and share this broadcast with somebody. Make sure everybody get on tonight, and we're going to talk about it. And so a couple areas, Pastor, what I want to lift up is that bring on these types of dramas is, you know, childhood traumas, what people have experienced in their childhood. Hey, good to see you back. What people have, you know, experienced in their childhood traumas, bring on some of this addictive pain, toxic behavior. Another thing, Pastor Will, is relational trauma or relational experience that somebody's had, you know, with their ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, the ex-wife, okay, ex-husband, that also can bring some of this drama into your new relationship, with your new boo, with your new potential, okay? It's bringing on drama from past relational experience, and then also poverty. And that sounds horrible, but it's true that sometimes people that grow up in poverty-stricken situations, and or situations where they, you know, didn't have a lot, and or were, you know, had different circumstances and environments, sometimes expect those same, you know, situations when they get in a relationship. You know, somebody don't love them if we ain't poor, or we ain't, you know, it's crazy stuff. Go ahead, Pastor.
So can I read this?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna read this article. I read this on the Washington Post today, right? Okay. So it says, "Hi, Carolyn." And Carolyn is, you know, the one of the dating editor, or the one that deal with relationships or whatever, right? Like the Dear Abby type of thing.
Okay. Hey, Carolyn.
So she's like, "Hi, Carolyn. I'm the lawyer husband who wrote in twice in 2020. First, to complain that my wife wasn't productive enough in connection with personal pursuits during the pandemic." Right? So he felt like his wife wasn't being productive during the pandemic, right? She wasn't being productive in her personal pursuits, right? So eventually he must have felt like she didn't have any ambition to do anything but to sulk in the pandemic, right? Okay. Wow. So it says, and then to update that after a brief stint of marriage counseling, we decided to divorce. As my original question was rerun in the column recently, I wanted to offer a further update. First of all, wow, I was such a glass bowl back then, and all of the critical comments from you and from readers were 100% deserved.
Okay. So you starting to see the light?
Right. So as it turns out, fate intervened. Shortly after my wife and I decided to divorce, my parents both contracted COVID-19 and ended up passing away.
What?
We had a somewhat strained relationship, but it was still a time of extreme grief and regret.
Wow.
especially since this was pre-vaccines and I was not able to visit with them as they were declining, as their health were declining, nor were we able to have much in the way of memorial services, right?
Right.
So, despite the way I treated her, my wife was completely there for me
Mm.
with unconditional support. Somebody say a good wife.
That was a good wife. Go ahead. She was
Yeah,
good. She was
she
good.
was still the wife. You know, was going through the divorce. She was still the wife, right?
That's good. She did
So,
good.
and I asked her to reconsider the divorce.
Okay, so you wanted to get back together.
Yeah, now this joy sound like a Tyler Perry movie as I'm reading it. Okay, but she agreed, but only if I promised to complete a course of individual therapy to find out why I had been acting so mean and judgmental.
Okay, come on through here.
Right? So the wife
Right.
said, "Hey, look, before we can get back together, you need. I can't come back into the same thing that I came out of.
You got to go see the people.
Go see the people." So let me finish. This is the last paragraph. We
Okay.
uncovered a lot of issues from my childhood, notably that my parents equated not being the best with worthlessness. Even more so, they believed that life was something to be suffered through with grim determination, and that enjoying oneself was almost always inappropriate.
What?
So these
Child.
are the things that he grew up with that he put on his wife.
His parents nurtured him or brought him up in a way that everything had to be a struggle. Everything had to be hard. Everything had to be a lot. I see now. Okay.
Hey,
And so,
Tanya.
that's what we're talking about,
That.
because we talk about no more drama tonight. And I just want to start off by, with your great story. Thanks for that story, Pastor Will. You know, Often what deters or what deteriorates a relationship is unhealed, undealt with drama from the individual person. It's not even about the marriage or the relationship, Pastor Will.
Right.
That individual person's unhealed, undealt with drama is what often they bring into the relationship that deteriorates the relationship. It's not even the other person or something that happens in the relationship.
Not even it.
It's the backpack which you brought into the relationship with you.
You don't even know it's there because it's been with you all your life.
Yeah.
You don't
And
know
so,
how heavy that I used to carry a heavy backpack to school. I didn't know how heavy my backpack was until somebody else lifted it up and was like, man, you carry this a big thing, this weighed down thing with you everywhere you go.
yeah.
How your back isn't hurting.
Yeah. Yeah. For
So
sure.
I went from a big book bag to a notebook. I learned how to just carry a notebook. I don't know how I made it. I don't know how I made it. I'm surprised I'm still not in high school.
Father
Don't know
God.
how I made it out.
Father God. Look,
Father God.
I think, Pastor, when we talk about this, what we're talking about is it's not really about behaviors, but as we get from our story tonight, it's about responses.
Yeah.
It's about responses, and as we talk about dating God's way, before we talk about married God's way, we talk about dating God's way, like how you respond. Let's not talk about the other person, because I know everybody want to quickly go to let me see if this person got drama. Let me see if they got trauma. But as you respond to people in relationships, how do you respond? Are you responding from undealt with, unhealed spaces in your heart, in your mind, from traumas, all of that?
Hey, mama.
I knew that was going to get you.
I know, mama. Somehow, I just kept smiling. I just kept
God's
going to
grace,
school.
child. God's grace. God's grace.
And that was it. Was God's grace, but it was A in citizenship. Man, my citizenship grade, that 1A covered a lot of things. Y'all just
The
don't know.
prayers of your mama, child. The prayers of your mama. So it's not about behaviors. It's about responses, the responses of the individual. And we see that, Pastor Will, that the breakdown or the deterioration of relationships really is about, things that you ain't dealt with yet.
Yeah.
Right. And look, let me just start off by saying tonight, as a mom, as a parent, it's once you get to a certain age, you cannot use your parents as an excuse no more. We're talking about dating God's way. I'm gonna just say, Pastor Will, like once you get 21, my opinion, that excuse is over. It cannot be about your parents no more. You now you got some insurance, you got some ability to, like, you ain't under your parents' roof no more. Maybe you got a job. You can go to counseling. You can get your life.
I mean, how you were raised, and those things attribute to who you are.
They not only do they attribute, but they sometimes mess you up completely. That's true.
And that's it. But if you don't face those things and kind of pick apart what's supposed to be there, right? What's healthy and what's not healthy.
That's right. Yeah.
What's supposed to be there and what's not supposed to be there from this point on.
It's your responsibility. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. It absolutely is your
21 years old. Somebody need to hear this tonight, because I feel like too, the parents just get blamed for everything forever. It's like once you get 21, it's time to get some help, y'all. 21 and over, it's time for help. It cannot be the parents' fault forever. That excuse just don't last long. So now you're gonna mess up your own child life, your marriage, or this, or that, or it's all my parents' fault.
So get
take
this.
some responsibility, Pastor.
So help men right now.
Okay.
Because I'm hearing something. So when you hear a young lady says, well, this is the way my father treated me, or whatever, they spoiled me. Right. I'm entitled to. So now you have to be better, equal or better than. How much of that needs to be measured and kind of scraped off? Because it's hard for somebody to be with your father. Your father had a responsibility. Right?
Yeah.
And yes, you are my wife and I'm taking you on, but how do we get past those things? Because I can't be your dad.
No, you can't be nobody's dad, because that ain't your role.
Right. And so, so this whole thing, but do I got to treat you as your dad treated you? Like, are you my little princess? Help me.
Look, okay, so interesting point you're making. I have definitely heard that connotation before, that like you're gonna treat me, I'm not gonna go to anybody that's gonna treat me less than my father, or less than this, or less than that, or less than that. Okay. And so I think, Pastor Will, that going back to our conversation last week, it does. There's expectations often that come in a relationship about, like, for me, it definitely was not about my father, but more so about like the standard I have for myself of like, I'm not going to kind of lower my lifestyle. And so like, we got to both come on up. We got to come up. We got to be on the same wavelength. So I think it depends on the perspective that it's coming from. If somebody is saying, you need to be like my father was and take care of me and take care of me and take care of me, I think that's one thing. That's one thing. And often that's coming from, as we're talking about tonight, unhealthy relational spaces. Because nobody can be your father. So I think that's unhealthy relational spaces. I think that's the same thing. Let's get it with mamas too, right? Unhealthy relational spaces. Ain't nobody gonna be your mama. So I think that's a both fan. Unhealthy relational space.
Oh, you such a litigator.
I am. I'm sorry. I am. I am. I'm such a litigator. But but that's true, right? Nobody's gonna be, so that's true. But also though, Pastor Will, I think the rub in that is like I'm not going to lower my standard either. So like there's a healthy response and then there's an unhealthy one.
Okay.
Right? There's a healthy response in like having a standard, but who's that standard based on? Do you know yourself enough to make sure that that is really about what you like and what you desire and not what your parents provided or who your parents are or was? To me, that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
That if it's about your parents and what they did for you and how they provided, like you said, your parents had a responsibility. But I have to know enough about myself to know what I desire. And that can be a healthy place now of conversation about expectation.
Yeah.
What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
No, that's good. I think you hit it. You hit it well. That's why I asked the question. I mean, I wanted to kind of address that tonight. I mean, to our viewers and everybody who's listening or whatever, and
Yeah.
That in that context, because there should be a different expectation when we talk about a dating to marriage relationship than a father-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
And I think when you come into spaces, even for sons and moms or sons and parents, but even when you come into spaces, I think there has to be some kind of clear expectations
Yeah.
about what we bring into the table and what should I be expecting. And I should not be expecting you to be who my mom was to me, because my mom had a way that she did things, right?
Of course. Yeah.
And it was her. She was the queen of her castle,
That's right.
right? And so now I'm attempting to build our king and queen structure. And so now how are we coming into this?
That's it.
Right.
Yeah. So I think some of the things you can see, like I don't think I really have a problem with this. If you use statements like, I never got this when I was growing up. So I'm gonna make sure my kids, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure all of those can be trauma responses. Okay. They can be unhealthy responses, right? If you always talking about, I ain't never get this, so I'm gonna make sure, those can be unhealthy responses, because sometimes you're not willing to work for that, and or you're not willing to contribute to it.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's unhealthy, right? If you're like, I never got this, I'm gonna make sure I got, and that can take you into debt. That can take you into, poverty mindsets. You're trying to keep up with Joneses in them. And so that can be unhealthy, and or the type of response that says, we always had this. I grew up in a house where we always, and it's like, okay, that's nice, but what is it now? What are you going to build? Because that thing that you always had, your parents built that. That was their hard work and money. Surprise. Okay. And so I think that's also, those are two sometimes trauma responses of you ain't never or you always did, without understanding the value of work that you must do to create what it is that you desire.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure. So when we talk about no more drama tonight, we know what happened on the Oscars and everything. And the thing, Pastor Will, is you never know why people doing what they doing. That's number one.
Oh, so absolutely.
It's really idiotic for everybody to now have, they're gonna diagnose.
It was a lot of psychoanalysis.
Analyzing. It's crazy.
Still is. But I psychoanalyze it. So you want to hear my psychoanalysis? Okay, you're going to hear it anyway. So I think part of it, I think this was one of those in-home conversations or in-home intense relationship fights.
Yep. If anybody say anything about boom, 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 right.
Exactly.
It sounds about like somebody you used to know, don't it?
You don't stand up for me enough. You don't, you let anybody say anything they want to about me. You don't stand up. And at that moment, when he looked over to her, he was like, that conversation replayed in his mind.
I better do something, young.
Remember the
I've had
movie?
this conversation
Remember,
enough. I better
remember,
do something.
remember the movie John Q, where she just covered John, do something.
Well, let's get into that, Pastor Will, because that dynamic is in a lot of relationships. We've had that dynamic in our relationship. Let's go and get into it. Let's get some transparency to it. Let's get into it. Because often in relationships, you do have this dynamic where things happen with a spouse, right? Like it could be your family, okay? It could be the church, it can be whoever, your friends, where your wife or whatever get picked on, things said about them, whatever case is, and there's an expectation for a response.
Yeah.
So we talk about no more drama, but sometimes that drama comes to your front door, right? People just don't like your wife. Okay, I'm a witness. Okay, people just don't like your wife. Got something to say, always running that mouth. That's true. And so let's talk a little bit about this drama that comes to your door. How do you handle that drama?
Yeah.
As a couple, right? To handle the drama, but not make it drama for you guys.
That's it.
Because that's the challenge, right? It's like people bring, drama to your door. People like to bring drama to, aspect of the relationship, or, people have tried to pit us against each other as it relates to like ministry and different things like that. As it relates to career, you and I used to be in two different career places. And we ain't there no more. But it's still we had to go through those seasons. So what you say about that, Pastor Will? Because I had to watch my own trauma response, because I wanted them to I still had some response in me that was like, that's right. Enough is enough. Stop talking about this woman. Then Holy Ghost was like, stop this stuff. But how do you deal with that?
Right. And I think you just said it right. Then the Holy Ghost said,
I mean, the Holy Ghost said, because I was like, that's it. Stop talking about people. It's too much, child.
Right. And I've seen the replays of the video, whatever. You woke me up. I was on my way to sleep and you woke me up and you was like, Will just punched whatever. And I was like, oh, I got to see it. And I turned on the oxygen right then and there. And so
your wife was yeah.
But you said it. It's like, am I thinking of this for the past since Sunday now? I was like, man, they need Jesus.
I mean, like, period, y'all.
Jesus, period. Like, because somewhere in between the joke and running all the way up, walking, he didn't run. It was slow paces all the way up the runway. The Holy Spirit would have said, son, go sit down.
Please go sit down.
Go sit down,
like son. A fool, child.
Right.
But Pastor Bill, how do you deal with it then? Because look, if somebody
you need Jesus, you hear the voice of the Lord.
Look, but that's easy for you to say, right? When you
we're talking dating God's way. We're talking to God's people.
We talking to dating God's way. We talking to God's people, but often, like, that's the response of the person that's not getting harassed. I want to get into it for real, because that's often that's I can hear your response tonight, but also like on the other side of this, on this side of it.
How on this side of it?
On the person that's actually Jada, on that side of it.
Well, on that side of it is, first of all, need Jesus.
I got you.
Need Jesus, right?
Both people need Jesus.
But everybody need Jesus. The whole world need Jesus.
We got that.
We got that. Yeah. Okay. So, but when those attacks come, how does Jada handle? How do you have with Jesus on your side, right? You handle it with peace. You have to have you have to have that peace beyond all understanding.
Okay.
and you cannot allow the enemy to think he has something that would trigger um, something in you to cause you to sin.
Okay. So you gotta deal with your triggers individually. I like what I like what somebody said on here is like, you know how her and her husband handled it. He took on his family, or wait, I took on his family and he took on mine. Oh, okay.
That's Angie Chance. Hey
Angie
Angie,
Chance. Hey Angie. Hey
thanks for
Angie. Hey,
joining us
Angie.
tonight.
Yeah, thanks for joining. You know, strategy. As somebody said, get a strategy, right? Get a strategy. Because I do think that a strategy is needed, Pastor Will. Like, it's easy to say go pray about it when you ain't the person. Like
True,
I hear you. Like I hear you, and I am, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized. But also just being straight up. Like when you're not the person, it's very easy to be like, you just
but
need
you
to keep
human.
praying. You just need to keep praying. Yeah, look, I'm keep praying, but at the same time, there needs to be a resolve.
Yes,
I'm not gonna keep putting myself in toxic, abusive spaces and places. Like that's just one spouse should care enough to not want there to have some amount of protection for the other spouse.
oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. You have to, if needed, you have to remove yourself from that place to, so
Absolutely.
you can't, don't put yourself in harm's way, or make sure that um make sure boundaries are there
Absolutely.
and
There we are.
enforce those boundaries along with your mate. Say, hey, look, I really don't do this person well, or this person don't do me well. So at all costs, keep me away. I know that's your boy and all, but you know what? Um, I can't.
Right.
I can't.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
and being a middle person on both sides, it ain't up to me to try to bring balance between the two. It's up to me to protect you in the way of not having you in harm's way.
That's right. But I think with last night we saw what that sometimes you get in harm's way.
Sometimes
There's
you
no
are in harm's
protecting the
way.
person. Sometimes like it may be no protection because that person has to be in that environment, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
That's the complication of it. And like as you say, like she's saying is like in some situations, the spouse may feel like they have to choose now
sure.
between these two situations or these two people because it's putting the spouse in harm's way. Right?
Yeah,
Like he wasn't gonna not go get his Oscar because of her. He was not go get his Oscar, and she was not going to not be there for her spouse, right?
absolutely.
And so, like, you gotta. The thing I'm challenging us with tonight about no more drama is you got to look deeper. Like everybody just want to be on the surface about things, right? Everybody just psychoanalyze it from the surface. There is more to be looked at beyond just a situation, right? Particularly if sometimes a spouse feels like they were never protected or things happened previously in the relationship and now it's happening in front of the whole world. Now that person feel like I gotta do something because I ain't never do it before. I gotta step up. So all of those unhealthy relational things that haven't been dealt with sometimes in a relationship can also bring bad responses.
Yeah, yeah, but why did he laugh first? I mean, it was Chris Rock. I mean,
It's Chris Rock, and everything Chris Rock says is funny. So you know the face and all of that. But I think that I think here I'm gonna go ahead and suspect we'll psychoanalyze. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit. I think he laughed at first because he thought maybe she was gonna think it was funny. I think so. Like he thought like she was gonna. They know Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like they know him. So maybe he thought she was gonna think it was funny as well. Like okay, he just jesting. But I think when he saw that she did not think it was funny and she was hurt, I think that was what flipped the script a little bit.
but
I think.
here's another my deep dive, not into their relationship, but just on a whole different topic.
Yeah.
the Oscars is time. Everything is that stuff is time delayed.
Yeah, that's
So
very
like,
true, Angie. I
ju-
believe that too. Yeah, go
just
ahead.
like they edit out on the U.S. side, what Will was saying from his chair or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They could have removed that whole section of the Oscars.
Oh
They
yes,
they could have went to black before the slap.
yeah.
And I'm just, yeah. Was this all just hype? Right, mama.
I don't think so. I mean, the way he was cussing in his seat when they showed the international version, the way he was cussing in his seat still after it happened, it looked pretty real to me. I mean, he was
Yeah,
keep my wife out your mouth. I mean, he was cussing. I mean, I was like, it ain't stopping. It just keep going. It did not. It looked for real.
right.
I mean, somebody say he should have counted up the cost. Okay, he should have counted. Woo! He should have counted up the cost. But often in relationships, you don't count up the cost.
Tara, he was not hot. He wasn't hot.
He was hot.
He
The way he
wasn't
was
hot.
responding when he was in that chair, he got hot. Let's get it
He
together.
ain't get hot. He had to justify what he did. That was all show. Yo, if you a dude, especially if you a black dude and you just get in the fight, now you got to justify why you got in the fight, and that's why you start woofing.
Right.
It's all hood code.
Now you gotta back up what you did.
Exactly.
Right? But Angie Chance, like the delayed reaction from my point of view is sometimes your spouse and or your significant other don't read situations correctly. Let's just be straight up. Like they don't read the situation correctly. And it's possible he didn't read the situation correctly. Like that's just whether it's emotional intelligence and or yes, and then all that crying he did made me sick, y'all. I mean, I'm like, boy, get off the stage, all that crying, looking crazy. But I do think that some of it was the delayed response was he read it wrong and then he tried to make it right. That's what I think. He read the situation wrong and then he tried to go make it right.
Yes. He read it wrong and then tried to make it right.
He read the situation wrong, thought it was going to be fun and funny, and then he read it wrong. You know, and so, all of that to say is, we talking about no more drama. You got to deal with your own stuff first. Because if Will Smith had dealt with his own things first, he would have took his wife by the hand and walked her out. That's what he would have did. I mean, if he was in a healed, healthy place, maybe he was exhausted. I don't know all the dynamics, but that would have been to me the response. While Chris Rock talking his jazz, take your wife by the hand. You see she upset. Take her to the back and help her get together, or leave the Oscars. Either one.
Yeah, I mean,
take your wife and protect her for real. You're not protecting her by punching a dude.
You're not protecting her. You actually put her in more of harm's way.
You put her in more harm's way. Yes.
By doing what you did.
Security could have came. You could get locked up, right? And it's like, and I see your comment, D. Look, at the end of the day, if it's what's going down, because if you put yourself in a situation where you can get killed and or you can go to jail, you are not protecting your wife because you may not be around any longer to protect your wife.
Right. Because, Chris Rock brother, Tony Rock, he not as famous. And so Tony might be on some thug stuff.
Right. He might come back for some revenge type stuff. And so like it is a mentality. I do want to say this, Pastor Will. It is a mentality of many unhealed people to respond in these ways. There is actually a story in the news of something like this happening. Somebody shared this and somebody went back and, somebody said something disrespectful to their wife or whatever. And the guy actually got shot down. So like, it's like somebody shared this story in light of what happened to say like, the other person doesn't always be the bigger person. Sometimes they shoot you.
Come on, E. We live in a DC.
Yes,
I lived in DC.
yes,
I mean, we seen guys get killed for less.
yes.
You know,
For sure.
so you don't, and so we learn, but I guess when you've been a millionaire for the past 20, 30
You
years,
forgot.
and you know, I was in the y'all, in the barber shop, we solve all the world's problems. And I was like, man, Chris Rock probably haven't been smacked like that since high school. He haven't been touched like that in a long time, and Will probably haven't thrown a punch like that. And since,
He
I
didn't
mean,
even
because
throw no cup. He did an
they've been
overhead
celebrities
slap with.
forever now. They don't have to, and they
Yeah.
50 years old. But
They
anyway,
are
that's a
50
whole.
years old.
So going back, no more drama.
No more
let's get
drama.
let's
No
get
more
back to
drama. No more drama. I mean, look, Angie Chance brought up a good point. You know, she's saying like you get mad about the whole thing about the alopecia or the hair or whatever, but you're not mad about everything else that people were saying about entanglements and such. It's so like at some point you gotta respect yourself. That's it.
But how much money did he put into alopecia research for
We don't
cures?
know. We don't know. It could have been millions possible. It don't make a difference.
But we don't
It
know,
don't make a
right? So
difference.
if you're gonna take up for something, I mean, put your money where your mouth is.
Yes, that's the same thing I said, Mama. It would have been more personal compassion if he would have embraced her. That was the only response.
Yes.
I say grab her hand and leave because I like dramatics. But that right.
Well,
Yes.
he could have whiffed from his chair when he whiffed after the punch. He could have whiffed that, and that would have been more significant
Yes.
than throwing a punch from his chair. But then either way, it's the Oscars.
Yeah.
Anything outside of that scope or
This,
any side of that circle
yeah.
would have been weird anyway.
But this is what Kim's saying. You know, if he didn't do something, people would have said something anyway. I think one of the things that we're going to get out tonight, I want to say about tonight, is it doesn't matter what people say or think. When you are in a relationship, you two are in it together. There's no person, your children, your parents, there's no other person on God's green earth that can understand that relationship. That's just straight up. Like the things that happen between a husband and a wife, people can't understand it. It's just like things that happen in that dynamic, right? And so at the end of the day, it has to be we in it together, but also we in it together in a healthy way. Not all this drama, dramatic responses, not dealing with stuff until we get out in public. You know, that's what we're talking about tonight, y'all. No more drama. Has to start with the individual and then go into the relationship.
But also, if you want to keep the enemy out of your relationship, don't invite him in the first place.
That's
so don't
it.
invite him in those entanglements, because those entanglements bring in spirits, bring in demonic spirits, and and those demonic spirits grow.
Yeah.
They grow. But the man said that his name was Legions in the Bible. He said his name was like it grew into his person. He had multiple demonic personalities.
Yeah.
And so we see where we know through their post or whatever, their entanglements, where they allowed the demons to come into their marriage. And so they just and I'm telling you, when demons manifest, they manifest to embarrass you and to shame you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I say this though. You invited not just entanglements, whatever, but also all these conversations. The world should not be in your relationship.
Yeah.
Your family should not be in your relationship. The more people you invite into conversations about your relationship, no more drama, y'all. That's what we talk about. The more people you invite to have a say-so in your marriage and your relationship, the more spirits and such you are inviting into your space.
Yes.
Stop talking to people about your relationship. Go home behind closed doors and work on it, child. That's it. Stop asking people their opinion and get with each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether you need to go to the people and resolve some things, or you need to sit down and talk honestly with each other. That's how you start to kill that spirit. You got to be connecting with each other. You're bringing too many people into the relationship that they just got opinions. They don't have no help.
No help at all.
They taking sides.
All the
That's a
time.
relationship killer. People taking sides. There is no side. We together.
Yeah.
There ain't no sides. We are one. There's no sides. And anybody who see a side out of order.
Demonic.
Yeah. Come on, get in these comments. What y'all think about tonight? No more drama. We started talking about how some people are addicted to pain. Childhood traumas and relational trauma and relational drama that they bring into a relationship.
Go ahead, Angie. 30 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
awesome.
Everybody give it up in the comments for Angie Chance. Yes,
Angie
yes,
and
yes.
Butch.
Yes, yes, yes. They about to celebrate 30 years of marriage. Awesome. We celebrate you. Yes, yes,
Years
yes,
of
yes.
being one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so imperative, guys, to make sure you are healed from those traumatic responses and really healed from whatever happened in your childhood. Let me just say this again, because I just can't say it enough. That cannot be the excuse of why you cannot be healthy.
It can't be.
What your mama did, what your father did, okay? Cousin Larry, Uncle Jimmy, whatever happened, you have to go get healed, you guys. You cannot allow that to be the excuse of why you cannot be healthy to your spouse, why you cannot be healthy to your children. No more drama, y'all. Got anything to say about that, Pastor? Hashtag get healed. Go to the people. Go to the people. I put an age on it tonight, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and coin this. After 21 years old, you cannot blame anything on your parents no more. Just go tell a friend. I think if we just go ahead and spread that around, we will help people in America. I know we go to Kenya, South Africa. We go to all of the places. I know that. We go to all the countries. But I'm going to talk to America for a minute. Let's just go ahead and tell America. At 21 years old, y'all. So once you get 21, you cannot blame your parents no more, your grandparents, the way you grew up, your environment. It's time then to go see people. And you can do it earlier than that. Go see people and go get the healing. Okay? What you think about that, Pastor?
I'm trying to find a way to bring Hillsong in here because I've been looking at Hillsong.
No, we're not bringing Hillsong in here because he doesn't belong tonight. He doesn't belong tonight. Get to the people. We're only staying in the dating realm tonight. We ain't getting to the church realm. You save that for church time. Hallelujah. Save that for that time. 21 is no more. There we go. Here we go. Yes, here we go right here. Thank you, Brother Cavante. Thank you for that. Yes, yes, yes. Go tell somebody it's no more. It's now your pain. Here we go. Somebody put this right here. Your pain is now your responsibility. Not your husband, not your boyfriend. Get some. Yes, that's when we say go to the people, Angie Chance. That's what we mean about the counseling. Yes, that's it. Everybody that said go to the people. That's what I say when I talk about go get some counseling. Yes, your pain is now your responsibility. You're an adult. Okay, your pain, your responsibility. Okay, I already told my kids. One of them for sure. Look, mommy or daddy. Look, we're not gonna get everything right. We might get it wrong, but you guys, at some point, look, what mom and dad did, you're gonna have to make the most of it.
So, man, I don't mind telling my kids, look, I raised you guys without a manual, only the Bible,
right.
and I did the best I could.
Yeah.
So, I know I jacked you up in some places. So go get healed. Go ahead.
Go to the people. Go to the. I told them very early. Go to the people, please. Go to the people. Go lay on somebody's sofa. That's the whole thing. Go, and go. Because I already know.
Even me spoiling you, hasn't been all good.
No, I did the most. I done took them on trips. I done did a lot of things that's gonna make their adult life hard. I got that. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I did it. Okay. And I did what I thought was best. And that's all you can do. That's it, you guys. You can only do what you think is best. Okay. But that's now you gotta decide not to take whatever you feel like did happen or didn't happen into your relationship. You have to own that you're now an adult and you
Yep.
can make different choices than your parents. You can make different choices than what happened to you. You can be healed and healthy enough not to make somebody respond to your trauma.
Yeah.
It's very hard when somebody has to be in a relationship with you and they have to respond to your trauma. They have to respond to, people never told me enough that I mattered or that I was pretty or whatever. So now, every day tell me I'm pretty. No, I'm not telling you pretty every day. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, hallelujah. You have to own it first before you can share it with someone else. You have to own it first before you can share it with someone else. So I had to have a good self-image of myself first before I went past the wheel to make me feel good about myself. That's true. I got to feel like I look good, and I do, y'all. I do. That is one credit I will give to my grandmother. She did very well with saying, look in this mirror, child. All your blemishes, your little fat roll, whatever it is, it's yours, child. You got to own it. You got to own your imperfections, not just your perfections. And guess what, Pastor? And it's okay. You got to own it first. Yeah. Before you can share it with another, you got to own it first. Yeah.
Woo. All right.
This was a heavy dating God's way tonight. Y'all know Pastor E picked this topic because
this wasn't heavy. This was good.
Don't forget 21, guys. Go tell somebody. 21's the new age. No more blaming your parents.
And if you haven't gotten help by 21, you're overdue for
check-in.
For the people.
Mental health check-in. Go get your mental health checked on. I'm going to say one more thing about this, but we got to go. But let me just say one more thing about this. I deal with this in HR too. Like people at work falling apart, y'all. And I want to tell them so bad, go see the people. You cannot come to work acting like this. It's too much.
Y'all funny in the comments tonight.
You coming? Go ahead. Come on now. Okay, go run and tell that. That's it. It even comes into work, Pastor Will. We need some mental health checks.
It goes everywhere with you.
Everywhere with you. At work, I be so tired, child. Just ready to go to bed. It follows you everywhere. That's the point, guys.
Amen.
Mental health check-in. Make sure you get one. Okay? Often get your mental health check-in. It's not your spouse's responsibility, not your lover responsibility, nobody's responsibility to get you healed, not your parents, but you. That's it.
Not my mama, not my daddy, but it's me, your Lord, standing in the need of prayer.
That's it. That's it. It's me. It's not the people I've been in relationship with. It's not the people that every time this happened, every time I get in a relationship, because it's me. That's all. Yeah. We love you guys tonight.
We love you. Yeah, we're gonna let this whole Will and Jada and Chris Rock thing go.
Yeah, I've been done with it. I just did it tonight for fun.
Yeah, it's over. It's done. We back to Judge Kashawn. We back to the judge. Hopefully she'll get, Ketanji. Prayerfully she'll get I won't say approved, but she get
nominated. No,
she already nominated. Confirmed. Absolutely.
It's coming.
She get confirmed in the next couple of days or weeks or whatever, and we'll be back on point celebrating that, and then and Brother
Cavante, Go back and watch the beginning of this. It is not slopping season. Nobody is slopping anybody.
It is not
It is
slapping
not slopping
season.
season.
It
Brother
is
Cavante, you go back and watch this video. It is unhealthy to respond now
right.
like
Where,
that.
exactly, Kim. Where did COVID go?
Where did COVID go? I mean,
Where did
really,
where did Ukraine go? Where did everything go? Like, I
where did
mean,
everything
yeah.
go?
So yeah. Pop culture is a mess. It's a trip.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's a trip because people ignoring things they should be paying attention to. Love you guys tonight. Dating God's way.
Dating God's way. You
Thank
don't
y'all so
have
much
to
for
play.
joining.
Yeah,
Love you
thank you
guys.
all for joining. See
Yes,
you
I'm going to eat
later.
some
We
ramen.
out.
See y'all later.
We out. Bye-bye.
Bye. Impact, we at it again.
Love y'all.